Hey, parenting's hard, but we bet these celebrities would have a hard time justifying their actions in these scenarios.
I thought it was like really funny. I thought it would go away. It didn't go away. It got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity parenting fails.
It was only until the Prime Minister and his wife got home, 2 miles away from the pub, they noticed one of their brood was still missing.
For this list, we're focusing on highly publicized fails that made the news. And while some of the following scenarios are certainly disturbing, we're excluding more serious allegations of sexual abuse and the like.
I woke up that night from a blackout to find myself having sex with my own father.
Number 10. Vulgar voicemail. Alec Baldwin.
A nasty custody battle has gotten even nastier. Actor Alec Baldwin is heard leaving a blistering voicemail for his young daughter.
Divorce can make any parent go mad, but it's crucial not to let that stress affect the children.
My mom has told me not to listen to what other people say about you if it's negative, to always keep positive.
In 2007, young Ireland Baldwin felt the wrath of her famous father upon failing to answer a scheduled phone call.
You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a that you're 12 years old or 11 years old or that you're a child.
In the resulting, mildly insane voicemail, the most famous Baldwin brother not only shamed his ex-wife Kim Basinger, but also referred to his own daughter as a rude, thoughtless little pig, which isn't exactly the most appropriate way to address a child, or anyone for that matter. Perhaps Baldwin could have addressed his feelings with a personal heart-to-heart, but instead, he chose to leave an actual recording of his disturbing parenting fail, which was mysteriously released for all to hear and judge.
If, in fact, Kim Basinger did leak the tape to the press, I believe it was to TMZ, then the court's not going to look very kindly upon her.
Number 9. Pretty Little Prostitute. Amanda Holden.
He was so amazing.
As a judge on Britain's Got Talent, Holden recognizes good talent when she sees it. But it's what she doesn't see that causes the most concern. In early 2015, Amanda Holden seemingly tweeted a photo of her 9-year-old dressed as a pretty woman, and not the kind from beauty pageants.
When you're not fidgeting, you look very beautiful. And very tall.
Dressed up for a school event, she appeared to be a cosplay Vivian Ward, the prostitute Julia Roberts played in Pretty Woman. Holden called it a mistake and blamed her husband for the tweet.
As a proud father, he wanted to post the similarity on his own private Facebook account. He hit the wrong button and posted it on my Twitter account.
And also threw the gauntlet down on a longtime aide for not handling the fiasco properly. That does not change the fact that Mommy and Daddy apparently allowed the girl to dress up like a hooker to begin with.
Oh, honey. You know what's happened? I've got a runner in my pantyhose. I'm not wearing pantyhose.
Number 8. Seatbelt snafu. Britney Spears. For the modern celeb, flying from city to city is the norm, and sometimes their children come along for the ride. And whether it's a commercial or private flight, there comes a point when it's okay to loosen up the seatbelt and play with the kids. But that same rule does not apply on the busy streets of Los Angeles. Back in 2006, Britney actually fled the paparazzi with little Sean Preston perched upon her lap like a baby kangaroo. What's so wrong with that, you ask? Well, perhaps the steering wheel just inches away. We're not sure why Britney thought this was a smart decision, but it was undeniably a big city parenting fail. Number 7. Wacky waxing. Farrah Abraham.
I quit my senior year just because I got pregnant or whatever.
Yeah.
They made a huge deal out of it.
In the realm of reality TV, many external factors motivate the people involved, but none more so than fame and public perception. Unfortunately for teen mom star Farrah Abraham, she decided that her 3-year-old needed a quick makeover due to what can only be described as a unibrow.
I actually got a lot of fan mail from girls who were younger who did have unibrows, and they only wished that their moms would have helped them.
Some kids go to sleep and dream of the tooth fairy and unicorns, and parents typically leave them be.
To be honest with you, she was sleeping, so it's like...
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
So that makes it better?
Like just as dramatic as somebody who is older than me right now.
However, Miss Abraham waxed her child's eyebrows in her sleep and eventually went on ABC News to explain her practical thinking to the world at large.
If I can help my daughter in a little way by just plucking a few hairs, I think I did something right. I would never put hot wax on her.
Number 6. Booze and burgers. David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff walks into a bar every morning and then he stays there till it closes.
The concept itself seems hilarious. The famous Baywatch actor drunk, shirtless, and eating a cheeseburger while talking to his daughter. In reality, though, it's terribly sad. Hasselhoff actually requested that his 16-year-old film him while intoxicated so he could gain some insight into his drunken behavior.
Tell me that you promise you're not going to get alcohol and you're going to stop drinking.
In other words, the familial roles were reversed, as the Hoff's teenage daughter was left to remind him of the consequences of his drinking. And though Hoff's daughter warned of an impending career disaster, he still managed to keep his career, as it was, on track, despite the parenting fail.
Crawling from the ashes, the phoenix rise again.
Number 5. Bad babysitters. David Cameron.
British Prime Minister David Cameron and his wife Samantha left their 8-year-old daughter Nancy in a pub.
As the Prime Minister of the UK, one can't exactly blame David Cameron for losing track of his 8-year-old daughter at home. But at the pub? Well, in 2012, both he and his wife Samantha failed hard by remaining aloof as to the whereabouts of their child. Finding an empty backseat on their arrival at home, the couple realized that their daughter Nancy was instead with some blokes from the block back at their local bar.
I'm not leaving my family here today. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
Although their daughter was not hurt in the episode, it wasn't exactly well received by the British public, nor was it a shining moment in Cameron's legacy.
Today, the Prime Minister's government will be relaunching a massive program dealing with troubled families. But Robin and George, with headlines like this one, it makes it hard to do.
Number 4. Douchey Daddy. Ryan O'Neal.
There's enough that went wrong that you don't need to make things up.
Where to begin with this 70s movie star? First of all, Ryan O'Neal allegedly made his son take cocaine at the age of 11. And then there's his daughter, Tatum. In 2009, just after the conclusion of his girlfriend Farrah Fawcett's funeral, Ryan O'Neal has said that he was approached by someone who he thought was a, quote, strange Swedish woman, and he asked her if she was interested in some booze and a little car action. That in and of itself is a douche move, but it's also a severe parenting fail when the woman in question is actually your own daughter, whom you did not recognize. That's just awkward all the way around.
In those days, I used to just put my head in the sand.
Put your head in the sand.
Oh.
Is that what you used to do back in the day?
Yeah, I was covered in it.
Number 3. Pervy photos. Woody Allen.
Nobody likes me in the house. I'm with a house full of enemies.
Throughout the 80s and early 90s, this iconic director enlisted his girlfriend Mia Farrow to star in 13 films.
Let's get out of here and go somewhere where we can talk.
But then came a shocking twist involving Soon-Yi Previn, Farrow's adopted daughter. Woody Allen wasn't technically the adopted girl's father, but Mia certainly wasn't expecting to find nude photos of her 21-year-old daughter taken by her famous boyfriend.
We have no idea if Mr. Allen plans to marry Soon-Yi, but if he does, that would make Mia Farrow his mother-in-law.
The discovery led to an abrupt end of their personal and professional relationships, but this fail gets worse. Allen and Previn dated for a few years after this, ended up getting married, and now have 2 adopted daughters of their own.
I was paternal. She responded to someone paternal. I liked her youth and energy.
That's the definition of a scandal, but it's also a major WTF moment and one of the stranger celebrity parenting fails.
It's conceivable to me that it's controversial, that it was controversial. I understand that, and as I say, I take full responsibility.
Number 2, heroin plus pregnancy equals, seriously, Courtney Love.
Why don't you interview us? Kurt and Courtney. Sassy too.
After years of rumors surrounding the 1994 death of Kurt Cobain, a 2015 documentary finally provided some concrete evidence to the public.
Even if they're like you still can't trust them.
Although Courtney Love's heroin use while pregnant was first brought up in a 1992 Vanity Fair profile, Montage of Heck finally confirmed this enormous parenting fail.
This is the happiest day I've ever seen. Don't you think?
Frances Bean did survive and has lived a relatively normal life. But she's still not immune to aggressive Twitter rants from her own mother, which constitutes yet another fail, this time one that everybody could see.
All this This world is burning up. It's time that you retire.
Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
Police confirmed to ABC News that Sheen's twin boys were taken from his home overnight.
She has reported she had 6 embryos implanted, right?
That's correct.
With the doctor that did the other kids, so the doctor knows that the mother is unemployed.
#1, the balcony incident. Michael Jackson.
Look, he can fly. Jesus Christ, dude!
In 2002, while in Berlin with his children to accept an award for his philanthropy, Michael Jackson dangled his 9-month-old son off a balcony. Sure, MJ did protect the child from cameras by covering his face, but the fact that he actually nicknamed the kid Blanket is somewhat of a fail in itself.
No, they're ignorant.
In essence, this incident represents a variety of fails, even if Michael Jackson seems to be having one hell of a time. The lesson here? Well, it should be pretty obvious. Balconies and infants just don't go together, especially in front of a sea of paparazzi. Do you agree with our list? Which celebrity parent do you think produced the ultimate parenting fail?
They are now with their mother, Brooke Mueller, who will finalize her divorce with Charlie.
For more incredible top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.